What's going on, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets. Here we're bringing you our Week 2 game bets. We have a player props video coming out right after this. I know it's Sunday morning by the time you're watching this. Maybe it's late Saturday night, but either way, better late than never. Unfortunately, Riaz is not here with us today, but I do have someone who's very knowledgeable in the football aspect of the world. This is my cousin Mark. So why don't you introduce yourself, Mark?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Huge on sports betting. I think I got some great picks for you guys this week. Just follow along with us as we go on. We'll talk about Buffalo Bills at Miami. We'll talk about Saints. We'll talk about the Packers game, and we'll talk a couple of props bets.
Yeah, so the first game we're going to cover here is the uh, Buffalo Bills going against Miami Dolphins. Currently, right now, the Bills are favored by 3.5 points, and I think that's what most sites got them at. They opened at 3 and then moved to 3.5, so it looks like a little bit of cash is going on the Bills here. So, what's your thoughts on this game, Mark?
Obviously, the Buffalo Bills are a clear favorite, despite being on the road. So Buffalo has won five straight against Miami, and in the last 10 games, they are 7-3. If Tua can play better, then he really can make this team take off. But I'm not taking the Miami Dolphins to beat the Bills.
Yeah, I like Buffalo this year. I think I'm a Steelers fan, so I mean, I'm happy my Steelers beat the Buffalo Bills last week. But I just do think Buffalo bounces back here and takes one from Miami. This is a division game. Love Miami. I think they're going to be a great team for years to come. I love Flores. I think he's a great coach. Going to be a coach in this league for a long time. But it really could swing either way. I see a low scoring affair. I right now the line for over under is at 47.5. I definitely can see that staying under. Um, just like I said, the division game too as well. Miami was coming off a close win against New England too. So I don't know. I think this comes down to the quarterbacks here, and I'm liking Josh Allen over Tua in this matchup. So Mark, what do you think about the over under 47.5? You like the over or the under here?
I like the under here, under 47.5. You got to think Buffalo's defense is solid. They ranked 13th against pass, 17th against run. That was last season, and they only got better this year. And I don't see Tua taking that much of a leap against a team of Buffalo of all teams. So I like the under.
Yeah. So I think we're on here. Both me and Mark are Bills 3.5 under on the line too. So let's go to a game. Me and you maybe have some mixed feelings about here. We got the New Orleans Saints going at the Carolina Panthers. Carolina looked pretty solid in their home opener. They're going against the Jets, but they can't say anything more about the Saints that looked like they were the best team in the NFL going against the Packers last week. Winston throws for five touchdowns, no picks. This is an outlandish Winston game, but maybe he's grown as a quarterback after sitting for a year. So, could this be something we see out of the Saints more consistently, Mark, or is this something that you know, is this something that was just a 1 week affair, and now we're going to see Carolina hand it to the Saints, or do you think we're going to be sitting at a close game, or what are you thinking?
I mean, I love Jameis Winston, and he only threw 20 times, but you got to think they have Alvin Kamara in the backfield and a team coached by Sean Payton. You don't need to throw the ball 40, 50 times. You'll throw for five touchdowns in 20 attempts, and Jameis Winston showed it. Drew Brees showed it year after year. And so I like this. I like the Saints. I like him by double digits in this game against the Panthers.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, honestly. I think the Saints here, a lot of these lines this week are pretty close, but I think the Saints are really better than what people were giving them props for. And I think Carolina is about a middle of the pack team. They've obviously upgraded their team and they've got talent all around the ball. Obviously McCaffrey's RB1, probably best in the league. They got some talent on the outside. Darnold's an upgrade, in my opinion, over Teddy. So I mean, I like Carolina this year, but I think the Saints team just showed too much last week for us to kind of go against them again. So especially at -3, if this was at -6, -7, I think I might be able to go Carolina's way. But Saints -3, I think you're kind of getting them at a steal here.
Yeah, I'm taking Saints all day.
So let's move into another game that might be kind of kind of mixed opinions about. We had the Vikings who went to an overtime game. It was a fun game to watch, in my opinion. Those overtime games, just one team right at the end. Finally, the Bengals was able to cap it off. The Cardinals, they're at home. The Vikings are going to the Cardinals at home, and the Cardinals are looking like a force to be reckoned with. At least Kyler Murray is. So, what do you think about this game?
Kyler Murray's money,
Yeah, he's a freak.
and I think what was that?
He's a freak. Yeah, he's crazy talent.
Yeah, and he's only going to get better, and he's still so young. But Minnesota does have a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball to keep up. So, what do you have the spread at 3.5 or under 3.5?
Yep, I got 3.5, and I got over under at 50.5. Arizona's favored by 3.5. For me here, this game can go either way. I like Arizona again this year. A part of me is kind of hoping that Minnesota. I like Arizona here at -3.5, but a part of me is kind of hoping that Minnesota kind of has a crappy year, so maybe they kind of move on from the whole Kirk Cousins thing. And I just think that this team is too talented, and I think that they're lacking in the quarterback situation. I know there's probably some Kirk Cousins fans out there, but I think we're just getting to the point where that might not be working. Same with their head coach. He might be on the move too. So the line at 50.5. It could be a high scoring game. Obviously, both teams have a lot of talent. I like the over here. I can definitely see the over hitting. Both teams scoring about, maybe one team reaches 30, but both teams over 25.
Well, when you mentioned Kirk Cousins and said you have a lot of Kirk Cousins fans, I love Kirk Cousins. And honestly, when they got upset against the Bengals and Joe Burrow, that's another topic we got to discuss down the line, Joe Burrow and his new receiver. But I see Kirk Cousins holding his own, and I don't like the -3.5. I take Arizona to win, but I'm thinking they win by a field goal late in the game.
Yeah, the extra half might be getting you there. Yeah, I like it, Mark. I like it. That's a coin flip game for me. Like I said, I don't really I never really know what I'm getting out of Minnesota week by week. They're not a team that I like to, kind of put my bets on. But a team that you might like betting on this week is your Dallas Cowboys going at the Los Angeles Chargers. What do you think?
I know there's injuries. Dallas has a lot of injuries right now. To key players such as DeMarcus Lawrence, he broke his foot. But they had another guy coming in, Randy Gregory, for that defense. Gregory gets suspended. Um, I know their offensive lineman is injured, and Joey Bosa is going to have a field day. And I wouldn't be surprised to see 4 sacks, possibly five out of Joey Bosa against the injured offensive line that they have right now. Um, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, they're all way too good. I see them. I see a 100-yard game out of Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. I see Dak Prescott throwing 350 yards, 4 touchdowns. I'm I know Joe or Justin Herbert could could have a game just like that possibly against Dallas's young secondary, but I'm still taking Dallas to win this game despite the injuries and the players out. I see him winning late with a field goal, end of the game, walk off.
Yeah, so I like Dallas here as well. This is kind of something where Um, the Chargers had a lot of hype in this offseason and going into this season about how high powered their offense could be. And, we saw a good game against the Washington football team that they played against. They ended up getting the win in that, but we saw more. I was more impressed by Dallas in the loss than I was by the Chargers in the win. Just by, I mean, Dak, he looks confident, he looks healthy. He's leading this pack. I mean, he threw, I think it was over 55 times in that game against Tampa Bay, and now this line's sitting at 55. Um, I can't say I'm gonna go over under on this line. I mean, that's a lot of points. I definitely can see it hitting though, and I think there's just a lot of yards to go around in this game, especially for both quarterbacks. I like Dallas, especially with them getting points. I'm taking Dallas money line here, and I'm not thinking twice about it.
I'm taking Dallas money line as well. Regardless if they're on the on the road, there might be more Cowboys fans in that stadium this week.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. They got fans. They can pull up to any stadium, and they're gonna fill up. They're gonna fill up some of those stands. Um, So we both seem pretty confident on Cowboys over the Chargers this week, and that's no disrespect to the Chargers, but we think the Cowboys definitely have something to prove, especially on offense. We'll see how those injuries affect them, but this game that we're about to talk about next, Titans traveling to Seattle to play the Seahawks. The line's sitting at 6.5, favored by the Seahawks. This is one where another one of those coin flip games. This is going to be a great game. This game's at 4:25 Eastern time. Um, I like Tennessee plus 6.5 here. I think Seattle is just one of those teams where they're always like 11-5, 10-6. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're always very good, but they just this is just seems like one that Tennessee might get after a bounce back week, a poor performance to start off that game that Titans had last week. The second half they looked a lot better, but I think they're gonna come with some vengeance. I think Henry might carry the ball 25 times. I think they're just going to go back to their roots here, and Tennessee's going to take this one.
Well, Tennessee definitely will not be as bad as it was last week against the Cardinals,
No.
but the Seahawks also aren't going to lose their first game. I can't imagine Tennessee's defense being as bad as it was last week,
Yep.
slowing down Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf. I see that. I see DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett probably a touchdown apiece. I like Seahawks.
You
I
taking
like
them?
Seahawks over. I like Seahawks over the Titans.
You taking them minus 6.5?
I'm taking them winning by. I'd say I can't trust Tennessee's defense. I think they're going to win by 10 points. I wouldn't take them 6.5, but I don't know. It's a coin flip for me. I don't see them. I don't see Tennessee's defense keeping up with Seahawks at home at all.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair assumption. I agree to some extent. I like Tennessee though. And I like Russell Wilson. It's a similar sort of I mean Arizona. I mean they got talent they got as much talent on the outside just as much as Seattle does. So I guess this is just a true test for the Titans. I mean you're definitely this is two tough games for Tennessee to start off by. I mean, they're not. It's not going to kill them if they start the season 0-2, but this is definitely a good way for Seattle to prove a point. Maybe Russ can, let Russ cook finally, and it's not out of the question that definitely Seattle can cover this 6.5 and definitely prove that Tennessee's defense is very shitty this
Me,
year.
I'm personally, I'm someone that would stay away from that bet, but this game has the potential to make you a lot of money, especially depending on who you're picking.
Yeah.
Um, if you're taking the Seahawks for 6.5, you got a lot of potential in that game, but I'd stay away from it.
Yeah, so that wraps up the four o'clock games. I know there was one we didn't talk about, Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Um, Atlanta's Atlanta's looking rough out there right now. But we'll get into that another time. But we're gonna close this video out by talking about the night game here. 8:20 Eastern time. You got the Kansas City Chiefs going at the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore got handed a very tough loss in a fucking thriller game. That was an awesome game to watch against Oakland, not Oakland, Vegas. And so, what do you think here? Chiefs going at the Ravens.
This is gonna be potential AFC championship game. So I mean, I expect a lot of touchdowns, high scoring, absolutely no defense, and I like the Chiefs all the way. I like the Chiefs to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's not many games I'll ever fade the Chiefs. Maybe if the line's like significant, but I think just I've always just been a fan of the Chiefs in September. I think Andy Reid has went 5-0 in September with Matt Castle at quarterback. I mean, he's just for some reason the Chiefs in September. Mahomes hasn't even thrown an interception in September. I don't even think he's lost the game in September yet. Something about them starting off the season 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 is something that they just do every year consistently. Um, Obviously, tough game against the Browns. Now they're going at the Ravens, so I don't think this is anything that they're not used to. They're used to big games and big moments. Same with Mahomes and the rest of the talent on that team. And I like the over 54, and I like the Chiefs to cover 3.5. I mean, I think the Chiefs would be favored by more here. I understand Baltimore's at home, and they did put up a good fight against the Raiders, but Chiefs minus 3.5 all day.
What did Mahomes average over 300 yards a game in September?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I'm taking him. I like the four. You said the line is 4.5,
3.5.
3.5.
Yep.
I like him winning by a touchdown. I would take that one.
Yep, for sure. But that wraps up the video for today. We'll post the bets down in the description. If you want to follow the Twitter at Upstate Bets and DFS, go follow the Twitter. I post DraftKings lineups. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a DraftKings video out this week. There's some things going on. We had very busy weeks. I was down in Boston for a couple days. But we'll be right back out in the schedule next week. DraftKings first look video will be out Wednesday. Fire 5 video will be out Friday. And we're going to continue to pump out content for you guys. The first two videos went pretty well. Let's just keep the positivity up. Let's keep sharing the videos, and let's keep winning some money. I think my DraftKings lineup on Twitter went awesome. If you took the both lineups that I posted, you should be up right now. So let's keep it going. Riaz has been hitting well on college football too. So keep you know keep giving support, and we'll keep pumping out the content, guys. So once again, thank you, and watch the player props video for some player props.